Carly, tonight Grand Rapids competed with, and not only competed, but beat the top team in the league in 4 sets. What did this win show you as a team captain, but also just show the team in terms of their abilities to compete in this league?
Yeah, we have been saying a lot of the stuff that we've been falling short on. It's on us. And so I think it's great because we weren't looking at the rankings. We weren't looking at who was playing. You know, of course, on the scouting report, you look at who's on the other side. But that didn't matter as much to us as like what we were doing on our side. So our goals before the game were very focused on our 30 by 30 area of the court and adjusting to what they were doing on our side and not waiting to see how Indy played or what lineup they played, because they're one of the teams in the league that changes things a lot. So we just knew that if we controlled things on our side, we'd be able to take this match. And I thought we bounced back from the first set really well, knowing that we were close and that we had them.
Indy was just in here doing their post-game press conference. They did credit the Rise. They said basically they got out-gridded and a little bit out-toughed in this match. What do you think that the team was able to bring today that maybe Indy wasn't?
Yeah, I think that what we felt from the first set was that if we stay in the rallies, we're finishing those long rallies and that we're being gritty. So I think we just needed to touch a few more balls on the block, not let points end with silly things, serve a little bit more aggressively. We had a service rut in the first set as well. And I thought the pressure that we put on them, we can capitalize on a little bit more. That was part of the grit, what Indy said. I felt like we did a really good job of that tonight. Usually they're very, very good at that, so it's hard to beat them in that area, and I'm really proud of us.
Tonight, Indy did use every player available to them. They did play at least some amount. How hard is it as an opposing player to game plan before the match for that, but then also deal with that on the fly when it's happening in front of you?
Yeah, it is, and I credit them because they have an entire roster that's ready to go. Taylor Landfair did a really nice job tonight. We haven't seen very much of her this season, so we did not have a real scouting report on her with that many balls, and I thought that they did a good job, using that gap in other teams' game plans. So credit to her, she did a good job tonight, and yeah, credit to Indy for mixing it up. But that keeps us on our toes. It makes it difficult because we have a scouting report. You can only scout so many people. You can't scout 16, to the fullest potential. So we just have to adjust on the fly, and I'm proud of our team for doing that.
Your teammate Elizabeth Indy did win player of the game. She had 16 points, 8 digs, did have 2 aces at the service line as well, and a good efficiency percentage, 353. Really, any way you look at it, she had a great match. What does it say that she could come up big in this one, but also it's not the same person every match? Sometimes it's Alyssa Jensen, other times it's somebody else. What can you say about kind of the depth of the team and how that plays into every match?
Yeah, we said that last game. We don't need anyone to do everything. We need everyone to be a part of our win. And we have different people who go off every game. And I think that's actually an asset for us because it's hard to game plan around a team who's going to use every player. And so tonight, Elizabeth did a great job finding kills in really difficult situations. We gave her a lot of balls that she found a way on. And I'm really proud of her because she also played great defense, served really well. We've been working a lot in practice about putting the other team in a bad position. And so, there's a lot of stats that don't show up that she also really did a great job of. So I'm proud of her.
Was getting her more involved in the game plan, was that part of the pregame scout, or is that just how it unfolded in the match?
I think we always want to be able to ride the hot hand. And so she got some great kills early. And of course, I'm sure Cam is thinking, got to go back to her just from a logical standpoint. But yeah, we knew that they had been taking a step to our outsides the last few times we played them. We play each other 4 times in this league, so it's nice to be able to look back. And so I knew that we thought we wanted to get our middles really involved, and the ball behind, we would have some holes. And so Ellie really capitalized on that. They're a great defensive team, so it doesn't mean you're going to score, but she did a really good job exposing that tonight.
I just wanted to talk today about the Grand Rapids Rise win. Today the Rise didn't just compete, but you guys beat the Indy Ignite, the best team in the league. What does that say about the depth of the team, but also the grit of the team to come together like this?
Yeah, I think it was a really focused win for us. We came in with a game plan, and I thought we executed really well. But in the moments where, we weren't doing well, we were able to adapt and adjust really fast to personnel changes. And like you said, Indy is a fantastic team. Obviously, they come to play every time they step on the court. But I just really love the way that we stayed in the fight, and we really gritted out a nice win.
Yeah, Indy actually came in here and did their post game, and they did say that Grand Rapids today did have more grit and more toughness in some ways. What do you think that Grand Rapids had today that maybe Indy didn't?
I think we had great service pressure. I think they have a really lethal offense when they can be in system, but we did a nice job of knocking them out of system a lot. And then I think we just had that never die mentality in rallies. We were really patient, and I thought when our opportunity came up, we took big rips and good swings, really courageous swings, in some hard situations. So props to our offense for going up and taking brave swings.
A number of milestones were met tonight from the Rise. Cam Turner got to 100 digs this season. Camila Gomez got to 200 digs in her Rise career. You got to 300 digs this season. And then Paige Riggs-Romine 200 kills this season. With the number of milestones being passed, what does that say about sort of the team and the achievements that have been able to be made throughout?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to everyone's hard work and practice. But at the end of the day, our team is really thinking about wins. Just one game at a time, keep winning, keep fighting. Our goal is to make that playoff spot, whatever it takes, and that's what our focus is on completely.
You had mentioned the playoff race. Grand Rapids does find themselves in the midst of a playoff race among other teams. Some of the teams ahead of Grand Rapids in the standings you'll have to play from here on out. Does that change sort of the pressure or how the team feels, or do you guys try to treat it as just one game at a time?
I think it's if you're looking at, I don't know, the April 30th, I think is our last home game, and you're looking, okay, we have to have so many games won by this point. I think that gets overwhelming, and that puts more pressure on it. But when you have the mindset of just one practice at a time, 1 point at a time, one game at a time, it makes it so much more achievable. So I think we're going to keep that as our mindset and keep working our tails off in practice and every time we step on the court.
I did notice during the match that Coach Kathy George was talking to you quite a bit in timeouts and in between sets. What were some of the things that she was mentioning to you to focus on out there?
Yeah, I think she's providing me with information about our defensive setup, if we need to adjust our lineup on the block. I'm coming in and out of the game probably more than most players, so I'm able to pass along information. But yeah, she sees the game at a high level. She's coached for such a long time, so her input is really important during the middle of the match. If we need to make an adjustment, she tells me, and I'm just tell my teammates.
You're several matches into your tenure with the Grand Rapids Rise. Of course, after being traded from Omaha, what are some of the big changes or differences you've noticed between Grand Rapids and Omaha in terms of how things are done?
Yeah, I think both franchises are extremely professional. I feel extremely supported by the staff and teammates, and I felt that from teammates in Omaha too. Honestly, there's not a ton of differences. It's just whether it's the right fit for you as a person. I feel like I found my fit here, so I'm really grateful for that.
Just wanted to talk about the Rise win here first off. Grand Rapids with the win against the best team in the league. What does that say about the competitive ceiling of this team and where this team can go when they're firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, I think our team has a lot of talent, and we've had kind of a lot of adversity this season, and so it's just fun when you get to see us firing on all cylinders, and so that was a good representation of tonight.
You had mentioned some of the adversity that the team has faced this season. What about that has been challenging, and then how have you all worked through that as a team?
It just plays a toll emotionally, and then because it's just happening to teammates and people that you care about and spend a lot of time with, and watching them deal with these tough things, and then as a whole as a team, it takes a toll on that as well. And I just think we've tried really hard to bond together and trust each other even more, and just lean on each other. And I think that's allowed us to grow closer and build better chemistry as a team. And so it's pros and cons to that, right?
You did have a very good match today. You did have 10 total points to go along with 8 kills and a to go along with 8 kills and 2 digs, 2 blocks as well. What can you say today about your overall performance?
My goal was just go out there and give everything I could to the team, and add in whatever way I possibly could. And so I think that was our goal as a team. Everybody just give what you can. You don't need to do anything special. Just go be you. And I think the fact that everybody did that, we were able to accomplish that goal tonight.
Sure. Yeah, you had mentioned everybody did that. Most players on the Rise did make an appearance, even many of the bench players. Was that part of the pregame scout to get some of those players some run, or is that just how the match developed?
I think it's just what we need in that moment, and Kathy does a good job of trying to find those people that are ready and get them out there and get them on the court so they can help the team best they can.
Coach, tonight the Rise did beat the best team in the league, at least standings-wise. What does that say about what this team can achieve when firing on all cylinders?
Well, it's good to see things come together, and so I thought the team did a really good job of following, the cues we were looking for throughout the match, and then they adapted and adjusted with different players that they were putting in the game at different time, and they have lots of depth, so you have to be ready for all their players, and I thought our team responded well, but they were just dialed in, and I thought everybody contributed today, and that's what it's going to take.
Indy did use every player on their team at some point in the match. Grand Rapids, there were several players off the bench as well. Camila Gomez was in, Sage,
Candela, Sage.
Was that part of the pregame scout to use those players, or was that just
No, I think it's always timing. You're looking for the 6-2 sub. When do you want to use that? How do you see the matchups going, and what can you do to change some things up if you need to?
What did you see out of players like Elizabeth Inay? She did win player of the game. And it's not always Elizabeth. Sometimes it's Alyssa Jensen. Sometimes someone else emerges as a third
Right,
option. What can
absolutely.
you say about her performance, and then just that third option, whoever it is, how that makes other teams struggle to defend?
Right. I think Elizabeth had a game that we expect from her. I mean, she'd come off an injury and has been slowly but surely getting back into form, had lost a couple weeks of practices and things like that. So getting back, seeing her playing more in the way she plays, that was really good to see. Just continuing to keep her healthy and strong and move her in that right direction. That'll help our team for sure.
Indy, when they did their post-game interviews, did mention that Grand Rapids today basically out-toughed and had more grit than they did. What was your team able to bring to the court today that maybe Indy did not?
I thought they just stuck. I just thought they were really dialed in, and they took away some things that I thought Indy does well, and we got after it from blocking. We played defense really well. I thought our service pressure was good, but I thought that we have been. We have been really gritty. We've just been kind of hit with a lot of different injuries at different times, and I think we've been gritty and we've been fighting and even winning some matches that way, and I think that's been the character of this team, and that's what I like to see. So we got to keep that up. We've got to keep fighting hard for every point, and that's the way we're looking at it.
Sure. Last post-game, you had mentioned that holding Dallas to around 225 was really good and what you expected today.
Yeah.
Efficiency-wise, Indy 194.
Right.
You got to be happy with that.
I was very happy with that. I thought we did a good job both at the net and behind the block. So I thought that was really good.
Well, you did also have two players over 15 points, Carly Snyder 18 and Elizabeth Inay 16. What about them was able to drive the offense today in a way that was able to result in a win?
I thought that Carly had a bunch of big swings out of the back row and also then in the front row, but also Elizabeth, she was taking a lot of swings in both places, front row, back row, and so we were able to use them for 6 rotations and not just 3 when they're in the front row. So I thought they did a great job. Played well, but I think everybody did their part, with our passing and those types of things that gave us opportunities to score.
True. When your libero, Morgan Hentz, was in here, she mentioned that the goal of the team is to scratch, claw, do whatever it takes to get into at least that final playoff spot. Grand Rapids finds themselves a few games back at this point. What's it going to take to climb up?
Well, thankfully we have a lot of games in April, so we're going to just have to do it one step at a time, 1 point at a time. Like, we're not getting that far ahead. We've just got to really continue to improve, continue to work together, build into each other, and grind it out. I mean, it's just the way to go. So.